been very busy. The traffic's been very heavy.
For Sergeant Daniel Nagersmith, running the traffic unit at Clearwater PD,
This is only 30 miles an hour here, and he's doing 43, 44.
is a bit of a numbers game. He tells us deadly crashes are down from 22 in 2021 to 8 in 2022 and 4 as of March 2023. And for that, his 6-man unit is thankful.
We see the worst of the worst.
But he adds that other numbers are going in the wrong direction. Traffic stops are up, with 36,000 happening in 2022, and more than 800 of those
We're seeing a lot of impaired individuals,
were DUIs.
both drugs and alcohol.
So to see what CPD officers are up against, we tagged along for a late-night detail.
See how that car's drifting back and forth on the roadway?
Early into the ride, we spot our first potentially impaired driver swerving slightly and driving without lights.
How are you tonight, ma'am? Hey, I am concerned of why you're not driving with any lights on.
But we quickly learned that this driver is experiencing a different kind of impairment than most would think of.
She's a very tired driver. Just came in off a flight out of New York and just picked up a rental car. So equally as somebody who's impaired by alcohol or drugs, tired drivers are equally as bad.
And after a quick warning
You're welcome. Everything looks to be on, so
and a check of her lights,
yes, ma'am, drive safer.
she's on her way, and we're back on patrol, essentially looking for anything out of the ordinary, like speeding, swerving, racing, missing stop signs or red lights, or even driving too slowly. They're all things that could signal possible impairment, but ultimately officers have to confirm that after stopping you.
You know, when you get up to that vehicle, what are you seeing? What are you smelling? What are you hearing? Are they slurring their words? Are their eyes bloodshot and glassy? Do you smell the odor of an alcoholic beverage? I mean, you can't arrest anybody just for those things alone, but those are all clues. They're all signs of impairment.
And shortly after that lesson,
I figure out why they're using high beams.
the sergeant spots something.
Good evening. Why are you driving with your high beams on now?
But what we thought might end in another warning
Do you have a driver's license? Why are you driving this car?
turned out to be
When was the last time you smoked marijuana?
much more.
The driver who's got a legal marijuana card. When I asked him when he smoked marijuana last, he said a couple hours ago. So I'm going to have one of my officers come down here, and we're going to do just a quick evaluation on him, make sure he's safe to, or he was safe to be driving the vehicle at the time. He's not going to continue to drive.
A short time later, other officers arrive and the field sobriety test begins.
It's a certain amount of passes. Each pass he's looking for different things.
After checking the driver's eyes several times, they ask them a series of questions to make sure they're up for a test involving movement.
And we're just basically seeing that he has the ability to comprehend, if he's got any physical disabilities, if he's sick or injured.
Once that's been established, officers ask the driver to stand at the end of a measured line.
If they take their foot off the line and rebalance themselves and put their foot back, that's a clue. If they start to walk, that's a second clue. Right there, it's over. Because you only need 2 clues for this exercise.
If a driver fails enough of these tests, they're offered a breath test. It's an offer that the driver in this case declined.
Then we read in this statement here, and basically what that's saying is that your license will be suspended for a year.
That driver was then determined to be impaired and arrested, and he was charged with DUI and driving without a license. Back in the car, Sergeant Nagersmith tells us that education, arrests, and tougher criminal penalties will be the quickest way to turn DUI numbers around. And when it comes to education, he leaves all drivers with this sobering reminder.
You got to remember that if you are impaired and you do hurt somebody or kill somebody, you're going to prison. You're not going to jail. There's a huge difference.